Hi, I've made this screencast really more for parents, and it's about choosing age-appropriate books. I'm the secondary teacher librarian for the Learning Resource Hub at Nexus International School. So our books for the ages 12 to 18 are divided into two sections. We have the young adult, and that's really for the upper secondary school students, the years 10 to 13. And then we have the middle school books. Those are for years 7 to 9. Now, it's a huge age range, 12 to 18, and the topics can be quite complex, like mental health and depression, or a bit more simplistic, like love and friendship. These are just a few examples of what we would consider young adult literature. A few more examples for you, and even more for you. Now, one particular book I just want to highlight is this book called Salt to the Sea. Salt to the Sea is a very popular book right now. We have several copies in the library. It's getting a lot of readership, both with the learners and also with some of the staff members. It's also part of our Red Dot book collection. So how do you know if a book is age appropriate for your child or not? The best place for you to go is commonsensemedia.com, and it provides an age rating for books, movies, apps like TikTok, as well as games, and really any sort of media. So if you go to that website, you'll find some age-appropriate ratings. Common Sense Media for this particular website says age 13, and it's okay. But parents will say one thing, and then kids will say another. So it's really up to you as to what you determine appropriate or not. Moving on down to lower years, years 7, 8, 9 tend to be cataloged or classified as middle school. Sometimes they're called preteen and other times tween. It all sort of means the same thing. And the topics are overlapping, but sometimes a bit more simplistic, like adventure and family. One thing I've noticed with this age group and the cover of the book is usually that it's animated, as you can see here with these examples. A few more examples for you of what we would consider middle school fiction. A few more here for you. Now, middle school fiction also sometimes encompasses graphic novels. A lot of our learners and really a lot of children all over the world like to read graphic novels. But sometimes the content can be a bit heavy. It could be a bit mature or sophisticated, and it's hard to tell. Just because it's a comic book or something that looks like a comic book doesn't mean it's appropriate. So this particular book is called This One Summer. We have several copies of it in the Learning Resource Hub. A bit of a discrepancy here. Common Sense says age 13, but parents and kids say, no, it's really for a bit more of an older child. So if you were to look up that particular book and type it into the search box, you'll find a little bit more information on this particular text, or really any particular text. Click Continue Reading. And this is what we were just looking at. But if you scroll down a little bit, we have these categories or these indicators for parents to guide them whether or not the topics and the content of the book is appropriate for their child. And clicking on any one of these will tell you, well, when it talks about language, these are the words or these are the things that you could find in this book. Or if it's about another category, this is how the elements of this particular category will be discussed in the book. So any one of those things will give you more of an indication. Scrolling on down, we have parent reviews and also kid reviews. Now, again, there's always going to be an argument as to how appropriate or how inappropriate a text is. Reading these will give you an idea as to maybe where you fit in with your parenting and what you want your child to be reading. Okay, you can also read kids' recommendations and opinions as well. And there's always going to be a difference, and that's normal. Let's go back to the presentation. Read Brightly, another great website. I really like Read Brightly because it divides things into two categories. We have popular topics that some of them may be applicable to you, and then we also have ages and stages. So I usually click on teen or tween. And clicking on that will give you a few more categories for you to choose from. It also has a nice section on parenting and advice or health and well-being if that's something you like. And then two great categories that I like and I look at often is books that boys love and books that girls love. And then you have these nice categories down below. If you like to read something with your daughter or with your son, maybe have a look at this category. Have a little mini book club at home. And then down below, there's some picks, some hand-picked book recommendations that are more recent. And we have some of these in our library as well. If I was to choose any one of these, I would say John Green is always a great one. Kids love it. And I would say this Unbroken book, a bit more historical fiction. Books also have awards, just like the Emmys and the Grammys. We have medals and awards for different books. So this is the Newbery Award. We have the Prince Award, the National Book Awards, Carnegie Medal Awards. And in Singapore, we have something called the Red Dot Awards. These Red Dot Book Awards are awarded to different books that the teacher librarians in Singapore decide to be great reads for the library. Now, just to confuse you even more, sometimes you have authors who write children's books as well as adult books. So these are two examples, James Patterson and Carl Hiaasen. Now, there are other famous adult writers like Salman Rushdie, Margaret Atwood, and Stephen King, who not only write adult literature, but also children's literature. Don't be warned. Don't immediately take it away. You can easily go to Common Sense Media and have a quick look. But just to let you know, there is this sort of difference, and they do chop and change between what they write and what they like to write at that moment in time. Well, anyways, that's all I have for you. If you guys have any questions, please email me. I'm Miss Lucenhop in the library. So I hope to hear from you. If you have any questions or queries or concerns, shoot me an email whenever you get a chance.